Got the XJ back in the garage today. Gonna do some upgrades to the driver's side seat. Let's get to work. So today we're gonna be installing a set of seat brackets from Mish 4x4. This is gonna push the driver's seat back about 3 inches. While I got the seat out, I'm also gonna be replacing the bottom foam. It's broken down over 25 years. This is for a Jeep TJ, but it should fit in the XJ as well. Our first step is to pull the driver's side seat out. For this, you're gonna need a 13 millimeter and an 18 millimeter. You've got a bolt and a nut back here to remove, and then there's 2 bolts in the front to remove. The seat removed, there is one plug that you have to unplug underneath for the seat belt buckle. Other than that, it comes out pretty easily. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this seat side trim. It's just held on with some Phillips head screws, so we'll go ahead and get that off. So we've got the seat flipped up on its back. We've got to remove this cover first to install the foam. The cover's held on in a couple areas. We've got a J-hook here and a J-hook here that need to come off. Over here on this side, there's some push pins that kind of go through the seat frame. To remove these J-hooks, it's actually pretty easy. You just want to kind of get some slack on the seat. And this just kind of fits around a bar, this bar that's right here. You just want to kind of work your way around. The sides are a little bit harder because the material is a little bit tougher. All right, so we've got those 2 removed. On this side here, inside there's 2 little plastic tabs that kind of push out. Once your 3 sides are removed, you want to kind of take your cover and just fold it inside out over the cushion, like so. What you're going to find after you get the cover about halfway off, it's connected to there's rods inside of the seat foam, and it's connected with hog rings, so you're going to need to get a pair of side cutters or something that can cut metal to actually cut those hog rings off. Just take your side cutters and just go in there and cut the ring, and there's going to be 2 there in the front. All right, so I got all of the hog rings cut out. There's 2 in the front here, 2 down each side. So now that this is free from the cover, this should just slide out. You have to work it a little bit. We can pull that cover out. Quick side-by-side comparison. This is my old seat cushion. It is the Summit Racing TJ seat cushion. So it's a little bit taller. We've got the new seat foam installed, so we can go ahead and start to install the cover again. One thing you're gonna need is a pair of hog ring pliers and some hog rings to re-secure everything. So I'm gonna show you how to use a hog ring pliers. So the hog ring looks kind of like a U. So you're gonna open up your hog ring pliers, place your hog ring in like that, and when you have the 2 bars lined up, you squeeze it, and it turns it into more of a triangle shape, kind of hard to see, but more of a triangle shape, and that's what connects the rod from the seat cover to the rod on the seat foam itself. I've got my hog ring loaded up in my hog ring pliers. You want to take that rod and just kind of push the hog ring there, and then you want to push it way down and squeeze so that it locks around this rod that's right here. We've got all of our hog rings installed, so we can go ahead and start to pull our cushion back over. Ended up getting the seat cover clip back on. The J-hooks were a little bit harder to put on just because you had to pull that foam down. I went ahead and put a couple hog rings in the J-hooks as well, just as some extra security so that those don't pop off. Next, we're going to go ahead and put on those BigBoy seat brackets. To begin with, we're going to use a 13 millimeter wrench and unbolt the seat track from the seat itself. There are nuts on the back side of all 4 of these points, so we're going to go ahead and get those removed. We've removed the seat slides. Now we're ready to start installing our Mish 4x4 brackets. The installation is pretty simple. You're going to take your bracket. You want to have the extra length in the front. So back here, you're going to take their supplied carriage bolt, insert it there. Then you have a nut in the washer that goes on the back. Same for this front hole here. Now on the left side of the seat, so this would be the driver's side of the front seat, you do have to cut away a portion of the seat frame. So this is where the back bolt would go in. There's a little notch in the seat frame right here, and you're gonna have to cut a little bit of space out of there, because when you put this new bracket on, your seat track needs to be able to go through that bolt, and it can't because the seat frame is in the way. So right to the back of this, I'd say come back about 1 inch, and you need to come in maybe 3/4 of an inch and square that out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with a die grinder real quick. Went ahead and cut that. I put a piece of wood down so I don't melt my new seat cushion that I just put in. And I'm just going to take a pliers and bend this down. I didn't cut it off all the way. All right, now we can bolt the bracket back on, and I've got plenty of clearance there to bolt the seat slide on, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. We got the brackets bolted back on. I went ahead and put my seat cover back on. Got the seat side trim installed, so we're gonna go ahead and install it back in the XJ and take a look how it fits. When you're putting the seat back in, don't forget to plug your seatbelt buckle back in. All right, so we got the seat back in, and man, do we have so much more room for activities in here. I know 3 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but in the Cherokee, which wasn't designed for taller people, it's a life changer. Seat cushion, very, very comfortable. I am a little bit taller in the seat. I'm sure that'll drop as this seat cushion breaks in. My head almost touches the ceiling now, but I am a tall guy. I'm 6'2", but install was a success. I'm very happy I did this. I have way more legroom in here. I'm not right up on the steering wheel, which was a concern of mine in case the airbag deployed. So very, very great product. Couldn't recommend it enough. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.